Hey, greetings and welcome back to PE Garage. I'm your host, Toby Brooks. Last episode, we showed you how to mount some hood hinges on our Project Mustang. This issue, we're going to put some tin work on the passenger side floor pan. Stay tuned on this episode of PE Garage, brought to you by RPM Magazine. So here are the supplies we'll be using on this episode. We've obviously got the tin work that has already been made and powder coated. So I'll be showing you how to do some more of that in future episodes when I redo some of this stuff. I've got some really thin foam rubber that's going to go on the chassis bars to hopefully keep this from rattling quite so much. We may also put some chassis coating on the top side where you can't see it. I've got some clamps to hold the paneling in place so that it can be drilled for these black pop rivets. So I'll be using a standard pop rivet tool. You need a Sharpie. I've got my 90-degree drill. You could use a standard drill, but anytime I'm up under the car, this seems to be kind of the better way to go. And then I also have this rivet spacing tool that will allow me to space those rivets evenly. The only other thing I have here is my Cleco tool. So this is really helpful when we're doing tin work in kind of holding things in place. So I'll kind of show you how that works too. All right, so here's what we're looking at. You just got the open bars. And a lot of times people will put this paneling on the top side, but A, I wanted to be able to see the tubing from the top side, and B, I like the idea of having kind of a belly pan kind of look. So we will be going up from underneath. If you've ever ridden in a tube chassis car, you know one thing, they rattle like crazy. I'm going to try to prevent that by going with some of this thin foam tape. So we're going to put that on the bars before we put the panels in place. Okay, I spared you the details and the agony of getting all 4 of these pieces in here together. So now I'm ready to measure, mark, and drill. Got all the holes drilled. Unfortunately, one of them didn't do so well. Chrome moly, if you don't know, likes to devour drill bits. This is just 2 that I kept for the video. There's probably 3 more that didn't quite make it. So unfortunately, if you're drilling in the chrome moly, be ready because it is hard. So I ended up putting all the Clecos in. I started riveting it, and one of the holes is kind of walled out, so I've decided to replace the small head rivets that I have there with some larger diameter heads that will cover up my goobery hole. So I'm a perfectionist, and it makes me really angry when I screw stuff up, but something I've had to admit to myself on this thing is I'm learning and I'm gonna make mistakes. I wanted everything on this car to be perfect, and unfortunately it's just not. So part of the challenge is figuring out how to take something that's not perfect and hide it. I think unless this is a multi-million-dollar Riddler build where I have the time and the money to pull that piece out and completely redo it, it doesn't make sense. And it's a floor pan. I mean, it's gonna get scratched up. That said, I'm thinking about covering it once I get it fixed with some carbon fiber and with some small, Tim McCamus calls them floor strips, that basically will hold that in place. So let's get under the car and take a look. So here's what we have. Everywhere you don't see a Cleco has already been riveted. This is that goobery hole I was telling you about. Probably wouldn't matter to a lot of people, but it matters to me. I also don't like how this panel fits in. It is not the way I initially installed it. I think when the body went back down on the chassis, it is not quite as low as it was when I did the tin work to begin with. So I've got this lip here that I don't really need. So once it's fully installed, I'll come in with a cutoff wheel and trim that out. There'll be another piece that covers this area, but for now, I can't really trim it because of the Clecos. That's pretty much it for now. I've already ordered some of those large diameter rivets, and once they come in, I will drill these little ones out and put in the larger diameter ones, and then we'll see about trying to dress this thing up, make it look a little nicer. Even thought about putting a false floor in here so I could run brake lines and wiring in between. I think I pretty much ruled that out. It's just no problems, solution. Till next time, I'm your host, Toby Brooks, reminding you to get out in the garage, make something awesome.